everybody. It's Lisa, my resident expert in all things meditation, Rasha. Let's talk about 10 myths about meditation. Like a lot of people, when I started meditating with you, I've done it before and I felt I didn't know what I was doing. Let's dispel some of those myths. So, the first thing is meditation is just taking deep breaths. Is that all meditation is about?
I guess it could be. Let's back it up to the definition of meditation. So, meditation is you focusing on a specific subject, concentrating on a specific subject with very clear intention. So, if you decide I'm feeling tense, I'm going to take 5 or 10 deep breaths. I'm going to focus totally on the sensation of the breath. Then, yeah, then afterwards, hopefully you'll feel a little bit calmer. Then that is considered meditation. Now, if you come home and you turn on the TV so that you don't think of anything, or maybe have a drink so that your body, you're not really connecting, then that's not a meditation.
So it's more the focus on a subject and not numbing yourself
It's
with.
really being present. It's the focus and being very present in the moment.
Okay. It's not just about the deep breaths. The second question is meditation is a spiritual practice.
Again, it could be. If you look at modern times, we learn about meditation from the Hindu and the Buddhist philosophies. Really, meditation can be from any religion. A lot of people say that prayers are a
Mm,
form of
mm,
meditations. It's really going back to the definition. If you can focus, concentrate on whatever subject is the breath, the image of whoever your definition of God or whatever. And then you have that intention, then it can be spiritual, but also the fact that we concentrate and we breathe and we have intention, that's just normal human function.
Okay. So it doesn't necessarily have to be
No, no,
spiritual.
not
It's
at
more about
all.
the focus. Okay, this is one I know personally. I had this preconceived notion about meditation, and I'm a health nut. I've done all sorts of exercises and things like that. And when I would start to practice meditation, I just thought I was doing it wrong. Is there a right way or a wrong way to meditate?
I don't think if you are starting a practice where you concentrated with the intention of being present and meditating, then there's really no wrong way. So, for example, we start with saying you start seated. Otherwise, you are moving and there's a lot of distraction and sit somewhere quiet. Okay, again, because of the distraction. Now, if you build that practice, then sure, take it out on the road. It does not have to be seated, it doesn't have to be quiet, and it's a correct way of practicing. And there are so many different forms of
Okay.
meditations.
I think what you're saying is start in a place where you have the least amount of
When you
distractions
starting, yep,
when you're starting meditation. And I know gosh, how long have you been practicing meditation?
20 something years,
Right.
and I'm still a student. It's a practice over and over. It's a
Okay.
practice, y'all.
Okay.
Remember
So
that.
I'm not doing it wrong. All right.
Nobody is doing it wrong. It is a practice.
All right. Here's one. I'm constantly moving all the time. So when I think about meditation and the thought of doing it, s- having to sit quietly and be still in my mind, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, this sounds horrible. So do I have to be still to meditate?
First of all, it really depends on the type of meditation. There are so many different types. There is tranquil meditation, which is the one where maybe you use the breath to relax you. There is mindfulness meditation. There are analytical, so many different type of meditation. Now, to answer that specific question, going back to if we're starting with anything, we want to start small baby steps. You start seated because you don't want to have the distraction of being outside or exercising. But if you start seated, Things are quiet. Now you get to go inward and explore what is happening. My meditation 20 something years ago when I started is very different than today. I mean, today I practice yoga a lot, I go on walks and different things. And there is definitely the practice changed because I build that understanding and sense of it. So my yoga practice is actually quite meditative. It's very, I slow it down. I'm very aware of what's happening in the different parts of the body, if there are emotions coming up, sensations, and that's practicing mindfulness meditation specifically. So no, go for runs. But if you're listening to a podcast while you're running, then it's not really meditative because you're not paying attention.
Okay.
You left your mind somewhere else.
It's the same as what you had said before, which is it's a distraction. If I am trying to meditate, but I'm on a run and I'm listening to my favorite music and I'm bopping along with that music,
Right.
then I might be distracting myself.
You're not paying attention to your body because you
Right,
have the music beat going.
right.
You're not paying attention maybe to your thoughts or if emotions come. You're
Yeah,
not
right.
present.
I'm
You're
singing
like you're
along. Right.
yes. You are in a song or in a podcast.
All right. So the next one is one I know for sure that I've had this where I will start a meditation session and I might be listening to a guided meditation and I will have a thought and I'll think, did I load the dishwasher? Or wait a minute, I know I had a load of laundry in the washer. Did I put it in the dryer? When that starts happening, then another thought will come and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm not doing it right. And I'll stop
Right,
and
right.
I can't get into the right
Yeah.
frame of mind.
Yeah.
So, is it possible when you're meditating to stop your mind from wandering?
Sure. If you living in a cave for 20 something years, you're not talking to anyone.
Okay.
There are no distraction. You can calm the mind so much that there are
I
no much
I
wandering.
I don't know about that because if I was in a cave, I would
Right.
still find
To
something
do,
to
right?
do. I'd be looking at the walls, "Maybe I could do let's do a cave painting in here."
You're right. If we living our lives and we have all these responsibility, relationships, work, tasks, all these things, the mind will just constantly go there. It is the nature of the mind to wander. That's the thing, everyone. It is the nature of the mind to wander. Please know that.
Okay, so I'm not
No,
weird by
no,
guided
no, no,
meditation
no,
and then having thoughts. These random
no,
thoughts just pop into my
no.
head, which are not related to anything that I was
No,
thinking about
and
prior.
then the mind will even go from thoughts to thoughts to thoughts. I mean, that's how it works. It is very normal for the mind to wander. Now, if you practice mindfulness, what you do is you find a point of focus, and we generally use the breath as a point of focus. The breath, the mind have to rest on something.
Oh, well, that's gonna be one of my questions for you later about that
Okay.
breath thing.
Yeah. So, but say we rest the mind on the breath, and then from there the mind will wander. You'll catch yourself. That's the practice. That you catch yourself. The practice is not the mind wandering. The practice is you catch, hey, I've been thinking about this. That's the win of you catching the mind wander
Noticing that that's
and then you bring it back. That is the part that you need to celebrate. If your mind doesn't wander, you're not learning anything.
that's a really good point.
Yeah. You learn when you catch yourself with the mind, wow, this has really been bothering me because the mind will keep going to it. Or this is something I really need to do.
I'm out on a run and something pops into my brain, there's something
Yeah.
happening in the
Yeah.
background.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
The next one is I'm not good at meditating. I like to excel at things, and so when I started meditating, I just thought I was terrible at it, knowing that it was like an ice bath, which is I don't wanna go do this, but I know it's good for me.
Right.
So,
Right.
how do I overcome that thing of I'm not good at it, so I'm not gonna do it?
I'm really happy you brought this because I think two there are two parts to this. The first one is nobody is good at meditation. Nobody. Okay. Meditation is a practice. It's like you lift weight. Nobody is just boom, strong. You have to build that strength. So you practice meditation, practice, 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 and then you become good at it.
Okay.
So now the
Alright,
second,
so it's kinda like what I tell people when they run time, which
that's
is
exactly.
nobody is great at running unless
Yes.
you're a little kid, and then some point in our lives, we stop
Yeah,
doing that. Nobody's good at it
right.
first.
Now the second part is the part where you say, I'm not good at it. And I think that's where expectations come in. People come in to meditation with expectation they're going to stop their mind. They can control things. You cannot control anything. You just literally show up in mindfulness meditation. You show up, it's like you turn on into the TV of your life.
Interesting way to think about it.
You sitting there or walking, and you're watching your thoughts. The different thoughts come and go, and you bring them back to the breath. And the reason you bring them back to the breath, because if you don't, they will jump to another thought. Versus if you
Oh,
bring
okay.
them back to the
So it's
breath,
all about catching thought
that's exactly
and
it.
just recognizing like, "Hey, I'm having a thought here." Don't beat yourself up that you're having the thought.
Yes, the mind will wander. So there is that expectation, but it's not just the thought. The thought of itself doesn't really hold anything. What happened, the thought brings emotional reaction and physical reaction. So when we tense, when we think of something we don't like, we get tense. When we think of something that we love, our body relax.
Okay.
So it's the reaction to the thought.
Oh,
And
okay.
when you practice mindfulness, that's what you notice. So that's the part that we should be celebrating.
Okay. So I'm actually good at
You're doing
meditation.
fantastic at
Okay.
meditation.
The next question that I have for you is I should always feel better after I meditate. If I'm trying to do meditation and I've done it with you, sometimes I might feel frustrated or like, whoa, what was that all about?
Right. Right.
Do you always feel better? Should I feel better after meditating?
It's the should that
Um,
really I don't like here. If you are practicing tranquil meditation or calming meditation, you're focusing on the breath, you're relaxing the body, hopefully you'll feel a little bit better.
right. So tranquil is more about trying to calm with breath work.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So
So
you should feel better after that, right?
hopefully, but
Taking the
it's
deep
the
breath.
part of the should, I think, is the expectations.
Oh, okay. That's what you said earlier, which
Right.
is if
Right.
I'm not good at it
Right.
and the expectation of being good at
Right.
it.
Right.
Okay.
Now, so if you're practicing tranquil meditation or calm meditation, hopefully you feel a bit better. If you're not feeling better, you will notice, oh, I'm not feeling better because I'm having a back pain, I'm having this pain, or something else truly bothering me that I cannot concentrate or focus.
Mm,
And that's when we move into the mindfulness part, where you become aware of what is actually happening. There have been plenty of time where I sat down to meditate and all I kept thinking, I don't want to sit, I don't want to sit. I have all these things to do, and that story just runs. But what we do is we show up, we practice, we show up, and what we're really doing is we practicing holding space for ourselves. It's like your child or your pet coming to you with something and you being present with them with whatever they coming up to you with,
okay.
good or bad or
So,
drama
so
or
no, so what you're saying is be kind to yourself and
please.
all right. The next one is I have to close my eyes to meditate. Do you always have to close your eyes when you meditate?
It really depends on a person. Some people like to close their eyes because when you close your eyes, for some people, it can really go more inward.
Now I'm not looking at my messy house or
Right.
that laundry that's
Exactly.
on the floor that I should pick up.
Right. Yeah. Also, for some people, closing the eyes make them dizzy.
Okay.
So they cannot close the eyes. For them, what they may want to do is look straight ahead, a couple of feet, and just focus on that. Now, there are different type of meditation practice. There is a meditation practice called Dzogchen, and what you do is you actually just sit there with your eyes open and you just watch. You watch everything around you. It's a form of mindfulness.
That sounds like an advanced
It's
technique.
it is just yeah. It's a very different practice. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
all right.
yeah.
Next one is meditation is going to make me sleepy.
I love that one because I'll tell you, I would fall asleep for the first 2 years when I would practice. Like literally, the minute I sit there, I was like, oh my God, like I would topple
Yeah,
over.
yeah. I've done meditation with you,
Yeah,
and there have been people on comments and saying, "Oh my gosh, I fell asleep.
yeah.
I think I was snoring."
And that is 100% okay. I think what happened is you sat and you became present for yourself. And suddenly your body was like, thank you for bringing attention to what is happening, for just holding space for me at that moment with the breath and see what comes up.
Okay.
And
So at
what
that
came up
point
for you, your body wanted to sleep.
at that point in time, it's like, "Hey, you know what?
Please sleep.
Forget this meditation."
So if you really, that's what your body is telling you. And then from there, you'll come out of it eventually.
When I first started practicing meditation, this last one is one that was my big pet peeve, and it was one that I would always just get caught up in, which is the phrase, "Come back to the breath." And literally, my mind would wander, and I would start thinking like, what does that even mean? What does that
Yeah.
mean? Why is the focus of the breath mentioned in meditation?"
The breath is very tied to our thoughts and our body and our emotions. If you are stressed out, just take a deep breath. Here is a brown bag. Breathe into it when we're like freaking out.
Yeah.
The breath is tied to the thoughts, to the body, and to the emotion. So that's why when we come back to the breath, one is you get to learn your breath. You get to know that if I can control my breath or manage my breath, I'll be able to manage my thoughts, my emotions, my body. Now, the other part is the breath will tell you what is happening. So if you are not really sure, if you notice, oh, I'm breathing shallow, if I deepen the breath, that means then I can relax the body and you'll feel totally different.
This
Yeah.
is something that I already do,
Yeah.
but I don't hear the words, but I do it when I'm running, which
Right.
is if I'm
Special. Yeah.
running and I'm exerting myself because I'm running up a hill, before I start, I'm taking a deep breath and
Yes.
then I'm just telling myself, like,
Yeah.
relax up this hill.
That's exactly
Okay.
it. The mind needs something to sit on. Like what I was saying is, you're not going to catch the thought if you have not come back to sit on something, to rest on
Oh, I
something.
see. I see. So that's what you were talking about earlier, which is the thought will bounce from one thought to the next thought to
Yeah.
the next thought because you're not coming back to some sort of call it your mental
That's
rock. Yeah.
exactly. You need to rest the mind on something. And then from then you'll notice when it leaves that spot.
All right.
What is best than the breath to rest the mind? Because now not only notice when you're thinking, you're also going to notice and learn your own breath and what is truly happening here.
Now I feel better when I hear those words. I'm not going to freak out. Well, thank you,
Yeah.
Rasha. This has been awesome. Really appreciate you all hanging with us.